Hey gang, welcome back to my channel. How are you? Good? Okay, today I'm back with another video, but I'm back with a book recommendation video, my first ever book recommendation video. If y'all know me, and I've said this before in my videos, I have wanted to make book related content for a while, but I don't know, I just haven't fell into that format, but here we are. Now if you clicked on this video with the expectations of finding some very niche, intellectual, obscure books, you clicked on the wrong video. I love reading. I have a lot of fun when I read, but I read what I can handle, okay? And that's the tea on that, alright? And if this isn't your niche, like, I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you. These books are all romance books. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna try to be my authentic self. All these books are romance books, and if that's not something that you fuck with, that's okay. But this is some of my favorite books of all time. Now, I'm not very picky when it comes to books. When I read a book, I'm like, loved it, 5 stars. I feel like I should be a little bit more like nitpicky, but I'm just not. I'm not a book critic, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not about to rip these books to shreds if I like the characters and I like the plot. If it keeps me hooked, I like it. I like the book or I fucking hated it. There's like little to no in between, and usually when I hate a book, I DNF it. So I tried to be picky with this list, but these are the books that came to mind when I was like, oh my god, my favorite books, and what I always think back to are these books. Books that kind of have vibed with me over time, and like no matter how many days or years pass, I still can think fondly of these books and what happened in these books. And also, I'm sick, which is why I'm home. I would typically be at work today, right now, but I'm sick, and I was like, you know what, let me film while I'm sick, because what else is there to do? I just kind of want to get right the fuck in this, because I've been already yapping for like 2 minutes, and let's just get the ball rolling. Oh, hold on, let me show y'all this stack, first of all, and then I have to fix it, because thumbnail. Okay, this is the stack. I gotta count how many books is this. 1, 2, 3, 10 books. All the books that I have on my list. I wrote down I prepped for this video. Can you believe that? Okay. I want to go backwards. The first book I want to talk about is like in the Hall of Fame of books for me. I want to make it known that it's not specifically this book, but also this series that had changed the trajectory of my life and changed the way I consume books. So that book is none other than Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ritchie. Now let me explain. Okay, this to me is like a core memory of what, like my Roman Empire. I probably think about the Addicted series, and I started reading this book. I started reading the Addicted series universe like in 2020. So when I tell you not a day has gone by that I don't at least think about one character from this series, this is definitely, and let me be specific. Addicted to You, this book as a whole is not the best book in the world, but it starts off, it's the beginning, the very first book of this insane journey. I'm only going to recommend this book to you if you got what it takes to finish it. This series is long. In the original, look up the reading order, but in the original series, there are 10 books, okay? Then you get 2 spin-offs, which is like a duology. And then you get like 13 more books that's about their kids and about their family and about like the next generation that is still being written. Like Cobalt Empire is like the new series, and that's coming out in September, I believe. And I'm not saying you have to go off and read the spin-off books or read like the legacy books, but at least if you're going to read the Addicted series, at least read the first 10 books in order to understand the whole situation. This is about a girl who struggles with an addiction. The addiction is sex addiction, which sounds crazy, but you learn so much about it when you read this book. And her best friend, her childhood best friend, who she's attached at the hip, his name is Lo, and he's an alcoholic. And this first book is basically them using each other to conceal their addictions by faking their relationship to their families. Heirs to these like billion-dollar companies, like their family are billionaires, and they're in college at this point, and they're trying to avoid any suspicion of their respective addictions. They come together and they fake their relationship so no one ever questions where they are or who they're with, and obviously it unfolds that they obviously have deep feelings for each other, but they've always been scared of hurting each other with their addictions, so they've kept it like, we're best friends, but like we're only dating to our families, but we're not actually dating each other, because they kind of want to protect each other. It just explores their life and them struggling with their addictions, and also simultaneously trying to help each other and whatnot. But this series, you get introduced to her two sisters and a couple of friends along the way. You start to meet, as the book goes on, you start to meet these characters who are side characters who eventually become like one big family. So they're called the Corsicks, and as the story goes on, it's the Addicted series, but then you get introduced to the book cover. The covers are a lot different now, but this is like the original OG indie cover. Like, they changed the covers long since I've purchased these books. This was when it was an independent seller. Now they're with Bloom Books, I'm pretty sure. But just please ignore this cover. But then you get the Calloway Sister series, which they're interconnected. You have to look up the reading order, because you go from the Addicted series to the Calloway Sister series, and it goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But they're all intertwined in one, and if you like skip the Calloway Sister series, there's going to be a lot that's confusing to you, and you need to read the whole thing in release date order. This is Kiss the Sky. This is when you really get into two characters who were introduced in the Addicted books. It's Connor Cobalt and Rose Calloway, and they are like academic rivals to lovers. They are both the smartest of the group. They are just such interesting characters. Rose is like this headstrong, like fiery woman who's completely different from her sister Lily, who Lily is a complete sunshine. Like, get behind me, Lily. Like, I wanted to crawl through the book and give her a hug so many times. Rose is completely different than her sister, and Connor actually ends up being Lo's best friend. Like, they form a friendship, which is really cute, and they all are like really close friends, and you kind of learn a lot about them while also seeing what this is like from their friends slash family's perspective, and it's like so interesting. Memorable books from this series. I remember reading this book and just like the way that the plot pops off, you really get all of the characters together, and like the dialogue and on between these characters is so interesting. The different dynamics, like the living situations, because you're following these people years into their life. Like, it's literally, I tell people all the time, it's like watching a reality show for years, but you're reading it. That's how I always pictured it, because I'm like, this is the era when they all like live together and yada yada. So that follows that sister, and then of course there's the other sister. Her name is Daisy Calloway, and then you get Daisy's book. This is called Hot House Flower. This book I also remember being really, really good. The book is a little controversial because Reich Meadows is older than her, so there's like an age gap. The fact that he did know her when she was 16, but they didn't really get close or start dating until she was like 18, I think, and then they fall in love, and like it's controversial within the friend group because they're like, Reich, you're the oldest, Daisy's the youngest, this doesn't make any sense. But their relationship, like, we're years into their relationship at this point in life, okay, the way the books are now, it's okay. This is really interesting. She's like the wild child. She also has her own like trials and tribulations and trauma, and she was like pushed into this like adult world at a young age because her mom put her in like modeling and put her in the model industry, so she like developed like weird eating habits. And Reich is like this like macho man, like, who has a tough relationship with his family and yada yada. This book shows their journey, but you also get a lot of the other characters in this book. Like, they're all in it all the time. It's them like figuring out their relationship, then it's them hiding their relationship, then it's it being revealed to people like Lo, who's like totally against it. And it's really interesting to see Daisy really develop and become an adult and become one with the group, and now they stop treating her like she's a kid. But I digress. I remember Kiss the Sky and Hot House Flower were like some of my favorite books because you have really great moments between all the characters. Sorry, and I'm super congested. Say on the Addicted series, this is only like a tiny bit of the entire series. Like I have an entire shelf just dedicated to the Addicted universe, but oh my god, so good. I definitely recommend if you want a long series that you can just like commit to and you don't have to worry about trying to figure out what your next read is. You just want a series to commit to. This is it, the Addicted / Calloway Sisters series. Look up the reading order, read it, love it, live it, breathe it. When I tell you I just was so obsessed with this when I was reading it, like it was all I ever thought about. It consumed my thoughts. Like I would look up edits and like people's opinions on Twitter and yada yada, and it was, oh my god, so good. Okay, moving on to a different series that I recommend to people when they are looking for something light, fun, and easy to digest. This book is becoming a TV series. I don't know when the show is going to be out. They just dropped the cast and everything, which, you know, we all have opinions about, but I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be an Amazon Prime show. I just hope they do it justice. That is none other than the Off-Campus series. I'm putting this book into the video not because the series is my favorite series, but because specifically this book and The Mistake are my favorite books out of the series. I think about these two books so much. The other ones, The Score, The Goal, and then the Briar U series is fine. It's good. It just gets a little repetitive. I think the Off-Campus series is 10 times better than the Briar U series, but I know some people have opinions there. But let's just get into this book. This is the original cover once again. This is The Deal by Elle Kennedy. This is, if you are into 2014 Wattpad, like Tumblr vibes, I feel like this book fits that vibe so well. It's basically about this girl. It's a college romance, okay? Her name is Hannah Wells. She has baggage when it comes to her sex life because of some trauma, so trigger warning there. But she's the singer in college, and she has a crush on this guy named Justin, I believe, and she's just trying to like navigate college, okay, in her major and whatever the fuck. And she's also like good at school, like she's smart, she's cool. We love Hannah Wells. And then you meet Garrett Grams. I have to blow my nose. This is like diabolical. He's the quintessence. I feel like he's low-key the prototype for all the like hockey romance MMCs in the future. It's kind of an exaggerated subplot, like college hockey romance is kind of being shoved down our esophagus at any opportunity, but I feel like he was really like the start of it. This was, I feel like, the hockey romance before all the other ones came out. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, that's how I feel. But Garrett Graham, he's the captain of the hockey team at Briar University. He is just a legend. Like, everybody loves him. He's the most popular guy on campus. We love Garrett Graham. But he's kind of a tool. And he doesn't really care much about anything besides hockey. And he realizes that they are going to bench him if he doesn't get his grades up in certain classes. That's when he runs into Hannah, and he's like, Hannah, you need to tutor me. I seriously, I can't not play hockey. Like, my dad will kill me. Like, I'm the captain. Like, we will lose. She's like, I literally don't care at all about this. I'm just trying to focus on what I need to focus on. I'm trying to focus on my music and yada yada. He's like, I will, like, he notices that she has a crush on Justin, who's on the basketball team. He's trying to make Justin jealous, so he will be into her. But of course, while she's tutoring Garrett Graham, he ends up being obsessed with her. They end up being obsessed with each other. He's like, matter of fact, don't date Justin, date me. It's just so cute. I'm honestly thinking about rereading this. It's so like kicking your feet, butterflies. Like, you need a little light book to read and also get invested in. This is the one. This is the one. I think it's so fun, especially if you don't read books that much, but you're kind of looking for that like romantic comedy vibe. you know, To All the Boys I Love vibes. Like you're like on Netflix and you just no romance movie that you're trying to put on is hitting. It's because it's in the books. It's in the books, and you need to read this one. Okay, I love it. No other couple in the off-campus Barry U series combined can measure up to Garrett Graham and Hannah Wells. Wellsy, love them. Ah. Next is The Mistake, and I am so mad that this book is a lot thinner than the other books in the series. This is an underrated fucking book. This is the most underrated book in the off-campus series. Their meet cute is so cute. I love Grace. I love John Logan, who is roommates and friends with Garrett Graham. So it's like, wait, okay, you see your characters in this book. We love that. Yes. Logan has a crush on this girl. He's kind of feeling her, but she has no feelings for him. So he's trying to get over her. And in doing so, he like is trying to like party and whatever and yada yada. And he gets invited to this party in like a dorm. So to get his mind off of this girl, he's like, alright, let me go to this party, let me go drink and just vibe. He goes to the dorm. He knocks on the door, and it's none other than Grace standing there in her pajamas with a movie playing in the back. She's like, can I help you? He's like, yeah, I'm here for the party. She's like, baby, there is no party here. Like, I'm a freshman. What the fuck are you doing here? He's like, oh, word, okay, yeah, let me just call my friend and find out where do you have a charger? His phone's dead. He needs to charge his phone. Grace is like, sure, yeah, come in. So this meet cute for some reason just like was a Roman Empire. I guess it's the way it's written. I was like, wait, they're so cute. Oh my god. The groveling in this book. Like, I love when a man chases. And he chases her in this book. He chases her. He realizes that he was never even had feelings for that girl before him. That he just liked the idea of her. What he really likes is Grace. They're my second favorite couple. It's Hannah and Garrett, and then Logan and Grace. They are. And if the show doesn't fucking do them justice, I will be so mad. But yes, I think about this book so much. I am about to reread these two books because it's so it's so 2014 Tumblr freaking high school, except they're not in high school, they're in college. They're like romance, like friend group vibes. Love it so much. The other two are great as well. Read this series. I'm about to seem like the most basic bitch in the world for this book, but unless you have read this book, then you don't understand. And if you have read this book, you better understand. That is Beach Read by Emily Henry. This is technically all of Emily Henry's books are technically women's lit, but has a strong romantic element to it. The thing I love about Emily Henry's writing is that it's so fluid. It's like butter. It rolls off the tongue. She writes so beautifully. And yes, there usually is a man involved somewhere throughout the book, but it really focuses on the woman, the main female character. So I'm so sorry, my voice is so nasally right now. Books focus a lot on the main female character, usually about her desires, her insecurities, her flaws, and she's usually overcoming something. Now, I have read almost every Emily Henry book. There is one I haven't read. It's her new one, Great Big Beautiful Life, but we're not going to get into that right now. This one is my favorite Emily Henry book. And I don't know if it's because it's like the first Emily Henry book I read, but I feel like no book has compared since. The other ones are great. This one's the best. Just to give you a gist of what it's about this woman named January who is a writer. She's an author, and she finds out that her father has passed away, so she has to go to her father's house that he lived in. It's like this lakeside house, and she basically just has to go and clear it up and deal with all of his crap. And while she's there, she sees that somebody lives next door, and the person who lives next door is none other than Augustus Everett. Sorry, I love him. College academic rival, kind of. I feel like it wasn't that serious, but they definitely did not like each other in college because they were kind of at competition in their writing classes. He lit genre, and he, I think, writes like, I literally don't know, like thrillers or something. Just their genres are completely different. I could be wrong, but they write, let me see. Oh yeah, he writes literary fiction. She writes romances. There you go. She writes best-selling romances. He writes literary fiction. So they end up going on all of these excursion dates, like these excursions exposing each other to things that would happen in their respective books. And they're basically dates. Like, she like takes him on like a romantic date, because it's like, oh, this is something that would happen in a romance book. This is kind of like the knowledge that you need to know to get into romance. And he takes her on all these like scary little adventures, and he's like, well, this is about the book that I'm writing, whatever. I don't fucking know. It's easier to understand when you're reading it, but as it goes on, you start to see chemistry between the two. You see her having to deal with internal struggles that have to do with her father's passing and her complicated relationship with him, and it is so fun. The dialogue is so good. I love January Andrews and I love Augustus Everett, and they are so cute. And I don't want to give away too much, but let me tell you something, this book is so good. And I think anybody who likes reading could read this book. If you're like a fantasy reader or an English lit or a mystery, whatever the fuck you read, anyone could read this and enjoy it. Next up is also another, you guessed it, Emily Henry book. However, it's so close to beating Beach Read. But I don't like to pin sisters against each other, so we ain't gonna do that, okay? This book is Funny Story by Emily Henry. I read this summer. It was in my last vlog. If you watched my cruise vlog, you know that this is the book that I was reading on my cruise. Now, maybe you're thinking, you only think that's one of your favorite books is because it's associated with a great time, a great memory. No, wrong. It didn't matter if I was in the Bahamas, or if I was in fucking Mexico, or if I was on the fucking cruise ship, or by the pool. Once I opened this book, I was in it. I was in this book. Nothing else mattered in that moment. And I was here. I was with them. I was with these two. I was with Daphne, and I was with Miles. This book is genuinely funny. There's a lot of hee-hee moments. Like, I was reading this book laughing out loud. I love this book. This just might be my favorite Emily Henry book right after Beach Read. This is about a woman who was in an engagement. She was engaged to this man who was perfect. His name was Peter, and he bought her a house, and they were gonna have a great life together, until one day he comes to her and he's like, actually, I'm gonna call this engagement off. I want to now date my childhood best friend Petra, whatever the fuck her name was. His girl best friend, he leaves her, the woman he's engaged to, for his girl best friend. Leaving her in this town by herself that she moved to for him, alone, with nowhere to go. Because, by the way, he's like, the house is in my name, so, like, we're gonna live here. I would have killed him. I would have been prosecuted for murder. Anyway, she needs a place to go. So where does she go? Petra's ex-boyfriend's house. Oh yeah, because the girl best friend the man started going out with had a boyfriend. She left her boyfriend, Miles, for Peter. She left Miles for Daphne's fiance, ex-fiance. So Daphne has to move in with the ex-boyfriend Miles, Petra's ex-boyfriend. She has nowhere to fucking go, and he has a spare bedroom. So they're fucking roommates. And it's silly. It's funny, actually. It's a funny story. To this story where my poor girl Daphne has to figure out what she's gonna do. She's a librarian, by the way. She loves her job, but she's like, I can't stay here in this town. Like, I don't know any of these people. Like, all of my friends that I've had are his friends, and all my favorite places that I went to were his favorite restaurants. You know, was his routine. He worked out. That's why I worked out. Like, she has to figure out independence now, when she was like this relationship where it was a we, and now she has to figure out how to be an I. And Miles is just absolutely great because they're kind of in the same place, because he was in love with his girlfriend of 3 years, and they kind of knew each other from being in like the same place at the same time, because their partners were best friends. So it's just an interesting concept, you see, and it's so funny and it's so cutesy, and I was kicking my feet and I was like tearing up at some points, and I was laughing, and it's honestly a journey. And it's so much fun. It's such a fun book, and it's written so well, and you really just adore all these characters that you meet. You meet the people in the town, you meet the people that she works with at the library, you meet the people he works with, you meet his sister. Like, you just, and it kind of becomes this whole little family, and she kind of finds out, like, throughout the book, like, hey, I can be a person that people like without being attached to that man. It's so much fun, and I definitely recommend it. It's definitely one of my favorite books. This book was everything, and I know this book came out last year. Okay, I know this book has been out for a while, but this is my book of this summer. The tail end of things. Okay, this book is a lot different than the other books that I have named. It's kind of a different genre. Everything is romance to its core, but this is different. This is God of Pain by Rena Kent. Whoa, what a tonal shift. Rena Kent has had me in a chokehold for a couple years now. I have like read I read the entire Royal Elite series on my Kindle, and then immediately started reading the Legacy of God series, which is about their children. I love a good like generational storyline. Okay, the fourth book. I'm currently reading the fourth book, and I know a lot of people have their opinions on Rena Kent. You either love Rena Kent, you love dark romance, or you hate it. It makes you uncomfortable. Viewer discretion is advised. Everyone says that God of Fury is like their favorite. I've seen tweets that are like, God of Fury is the best thing that Rena Kent has ever written, and as somebody who has read a lot of Rena Kent books, I'm shocked. So I can't wait to get into this book. It's honestly my most anticipated read as of recently. She is thick, mama. Pain I read, I liked so much better than God of Malice, and I liked it a lot better of God of Wrath. How do I even explain this plot? How do you explain a Rena Kent book to someone who has never read Rena Kent? Presumably. I don't know what you've read. But it's basically about, I tried to explain the synopsis of this book and got sidetracked so many times and went on several tangents, because there's just so much that goes on in this series, and there's so much that I like fucking left out. So I end up just reading the blurb on the back to tell you guys what it's about, because I couldn't even like put it into my own words. So sorry about that. Creighton King is silent, brooding, and hostile. Annika Volkov loves him. She is his opposite in every way, a ray of sunshine, the life of the party, and constantly talking. What Annika doesn't know is that Creighton's quiet, beautiful exterior masks a dark, hidden persona, a violent one. Oh yeah, he's like a very violent guy. Creighton knows he will never escape his past, so he takes his pain out on others, if it's his only release. But as Annika attempts to get closer to him, he finds that he enjoys her company more than anyone else's, especially once he discovers her wild side. Which is so cute! It's like, he fucking hates everyone. He doesn't want to be in anybody's presence. Like, he can't even stand his own brother. But when Annika's around, he's like, it's so cute! I'm sorry. So this is definitely my favorite book out of the Legacy of Gods. My favorite Rena Kent book thus far, but I do love Rena Kent. So if you're into dark romance, or if you want to get into dark romance, if you are into mafias and kidnappings and just crazy things like that, pick up a Rena Kent book. All of her books, which I think is weird, takes place in the same universe. So like literally from the first book she's ever written to her present day books, all are somehow connected. But you don't have to read all of them. I have read the original Royal Elite series, and then I read this series. So next up. So this next book is a book that I have talked about numerous times. I don't know if I've ever talked about it on my YouTube channel, but I've talked about it somewhere on the internet a lot. And it's one of my favorite books because I think about it all the time, especially when I want to recommend somebody a book. This book always comes to my mind for some reason, and it is Daisy Jones and the Six. Especially if you know me in my personal life, you know I fucking love this book. And can you believe that this is, sorry, my camera stopped recording. Can you believe this is the only Taylor Jenkins Reid book I've ever read? That to me is crazy. But Daisy Jones and the Six, she's tiny, she's cute, and I love this book. It's now a TV series, so you've probably heard of it if you've watched the show. But if you haven't watched the show, read the book. Read the book, read the book, read the book. The show is good. It's pretty good. The book's so much better. They literally erase an entire character in the show. Like, one of the characters that's talked about in this book is not even mentioned in the show, which I think is so weird. But this book is so good. It is a fictional interview style book. It is about a band in the late 60s, early 70s, I believe. How the band forms, their story, the romances, and their struggles respectively, addictions, all that, and their rise and fall of this band in the 70s. And you are being told this story through an interview of each band member. So like, if you can see here, you see it says like Graham, and then like Graham's talking, but like right here Billy's talking, and they're not talking in the same room. It's like someone is interviewing them, and each piece of, you know, each paragraph is like them answering the interview's questions and explaining their side of it. It's interesting because they're unreliable narrators, so because they're going based off of their recollection of how it happened, but depending on if somebody was drunk or high or wasn't really there, their stories kind of like don't match up. And it's really interesting for someone to be like, oh no, like he totally bombed with that girl, and then the next line to be like, oh no, like me and that girl went home together, and the next one being like, he did not get laid that night. Like, it's really interesting and really fun, especially if you love that 70s rock band style of like aesthetics. It's loosely inspired by Fleetwood Mac, so if you know anything about Fleetwood Mac, like Lindsay, Stevie Nicks, like that kind of vibe, Daisy Jones and Billy Dune, they emulate that. It's heartbreaking, but it's beautiful, and it's so fun to read. And also like I love Daisy Jones, like that's my girl. Like, I feel her, but sometimes it was like, girl, you're killing me. Billy Dune is evil, but like I still have empathy towards him. And when I read about Karen in this book, I was like, Karen is me, I'm her. Like, I have never read a character that's like I related to so much. I love Karen so much, and she's the best. The audiobook is really good as well. So if you're like, you want an audiobook, if you want to listen to something while you're doing stuff, the audiobook is really fun because it's a bunch of different narrators and it's a bunch of different voice actors. So I heard the audiobook is really good, so if you're into that, you can listen to that. But I definitely recommend this book. Last but certainly not least is probably my favorite book of all time. If you know me, and if you know anything about my reading journey, you know that I love this book so much, and that I would die for this book. Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. This is the newer cover. I literally have the old cover. I have the indie cover, like the fucking thick one. Oh my god, if I can go back in time and read this book again for the first time, if I can erase my memory and read this book for the first time, I fucking would. This is one of the few books that I've reread a couple of times. I adore Binding 13. And I know it's been like kind of shoved down everybody's throats recently. I feel like it's on the internet a lot more. But don't cite the deep magic to me, witch. I was there when it was written. And if you're like, Jamie, what the hell are you talking about? I don't even know what that is. Why are you staking a claim on something that is irrelevant to me? Because baby, if you want a life-altering experience, read this fucking book. This book is about a girl named Shannon Lynch. Oh, I'm gonna start crying. Shannon Lynch, who is a girl starting at a new school, and it's 2004, or is it 2005? It's January 2005 in Ireland. It's a cold morning, and she's getting ready for her first day at a new school. You quickly find out that Shannon Lynch has a very horrible life. She was bullied relentlessly at her last school, and she has a horrible home life. On her first day at us Americans, we're gonna be a little confused. Thankfully, there's a glossary in the front now that helps us Americans out, but she goes to a new school. It's Tommen College, but it's not technically a college. She's in like 4th year. Oh, it's just so confusing, but there's a glossary, okay? It's not no freshman, junior, senior, high, none of that. It's different. So just, okay? Okay? Anyways, she's starting her very first day at Tommen College, and she decides she doesn't want to be late to class. So she takes a shortcut. She crosses, she goes across the pitch, which is where the boys are playing rugby. And while she is trying to get through the pitch without being noticed, she gets hit in the head with a rugby ball. Now, if you're anything like me and you didn't know anything about rugby before reading this book, I have done my Irish Google searches. I have looked into different Irish dialects, accents, the sports. I didn't even know what freaking rugby looked like. So what I've gathered from rugby, it's like football. It's like American football, except they don't wear any padding. The ball is huge, and it's very, very violent. Okay? But, so she gets hit in the head with this huge ass rugby ball. It's like a football, but like twice the size. And it knocks her the fuck out. And who kicked the ball? Who's at fault here? Johnny Kavanagh. And Johnny Kavanagh is the book boyfriend of all book boyfriends. Like, we love Johnny Kavanagh. Johnny Kavanagh's great. And that's when they meet. That's their meet cute. And Johnny Kavanagh is completely enthralled and enchanted by this girl from the moment he lays eyes on her, really sees her for the first time. And he's like, uh-oh, this is trouble. Johnny Kavanagh is not playing about school, not playing about sports, not playing about his routine. He is somebody who has a strict regimen. He is an athlete first and foremost, and he will be getting to the major leagues if it's the last thing he does. He's already kind of in the higher ups, but he plays with his school because he's still a teenager. And he also has a secret. His secret is that he has a very bad injury. And he is hiding it from the world, and he is hiding it from his parents and from his coaches because he does not want anything to get in between rugby. Except something might be coming in between rugby, and it's Shannon Lynch and all of these problems that she has. Why is she always coming to school bruises? Why did she leave her last school? Why is she so quiet? Why is she so tiny? Oh my god, the emotional roller coaster that you will go on. And baby, let me tell you something. If you're like, oh my god, let me go read this book right now, do yourself a favor and buy the second one, because the way that this book ends in a cliffhanger, and you're about to order Binding 13, do yourself a favor, add to cart Keeping 13 as well, because Binding 13 and Keeping 13 to me, they come as a pair. And when I say Binding 13 is my favorite book, what I mean by that is that the Boys of Tommen series is my favorite series, okay? Binding 13, Keeping 13, help me out here, Saving 6, Redeeming 6, Taming 7, and Releasing 10 are so fucking crazy. Oh my god. Because then you go on and you learn about her brother and you learn about his friends, and it's just like, oh my god, you get enthralled and you just get thrown into this time period where it's the early 2000s and it's Ireland, and you're in Cork, Ireland, Ballylagan, and you're meeting all of these characters and they're all friends, and like everyone has so much trauma, but like they don't have a really like great outlet to this trauma because, like I said, it's early 2000s Ireland, so they do not have like the resources that we do have, like that we have now. So all these people are very fucked up, and like there's crazy things going on. And oh my god, if you like One Tree Hill, If you like Shameless, One Tree Hill, Europe, you're gonna like this book. You're gonna love this book. It is the book of all books. It's my favorite book. This book and Keeping 13 are very great. The other books are just as good, but Johnny and Shannon have my heart. Johnny and Shannon are my favorite characters. I love Shannon so much. I've never wanted to physically beat up bitches for a fictional character the way I want to beat up bitches for Shannon. And I love her dearly. Okay? And if you have shit to talk about Shannon, let's go. If you liked this type of video of me sitting down, talking, yapping, screaming in your face about books, specifically recommending, I know I'm not the best at articulating these books synopsis, I'm not the best at articulating, but I'm gonna try my best to get better at it for y'all. I love book videos. I love watching book videos. I love consuming anything book content related. I love reading books, and sometimes your girl gets into book slumps, but something that helps me with book slumps is like just the book community online and reading or watching videos about books and watching book recommendations and getting recommended. I know these books are not the most like obscure, like I said. I know these books are not very like different, but if you're somebody who isn't overly exposed to the book internet world, if you're not somebody who walks into bookstores often or like pays attention to that kind of stuff and you're looking for books to read, then here you go. And even if you don't read books but you just want to know what my favorite were, here they are. Obviously I read other genres, okay? I have mystery books, I have fantasy books, I have literary fiction books, I have, there's a couple of them that you're sitting on right now, but I would be lying if I said those were my favorites. If I pulled out a couple mysteries and like a fantasy book and was like, oh my god, these are my favorite books, I'd be lying too. Because to my core, I am a romance girly. And I love it. And maybe one day I'll branch out, but not today. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. We could get to 200 subscribers. Which I know is like, girl, you're not getting that YouTube plug. And I'm like, baby, I know. Comment down below anything. If you like this, what your favorite book is. If you want me to do other book videos. I have other ideas. Let me know if any of these sound interesting. My TBR pile, be reading all the books that are on my bookshelf unread. What books should I be reading? We could go through that together. Books to help you get into reading. So the easiest books I can name for like, if there are books, if you want to get into reading and you just don't know where to start, I can do a how to get into reading guide video. I could do that. Books I dislike, because I do have several of those. I have books that I don't like. I have books that I read that I hated, that are controversial. We could be haters together. Let me know what y'all are trying to get into, and I will do that for you. Obviously, I have my vlogs up on my channel, and I have my plans to vlog forever. So if that's the only kind of type of video that you are into watching, then don't worry, those videos will be on my channel. But I could diversify my content for you guys if that's what you're into. So yeah, just let me know, because at the end of the day, I'm a provider. And anyways, bye. I love you guys. I'll see you so soon. Just for reference, this is my entire like Addicted / Calloway Sisters series collection. So yeah, I may have pointed out 3 of those books, but there's kind of a lot more content. I'm running out of space.